like sentiment, it goes
about
both ways.
like
I need
this, man.
time to
Yes.
process. I'm mad at you.
Think about it
Yes,
like this. Think about
yes.
No,
Just
I'm
because
pissed at you.
what?
No, if I'm mad at you, nigga, I'm mad at you. This
Just
is why
because
I'm
you
pissed
say it in
for.
that voice, don't change that. It's
No, you're a
right.
pussy. What are you talking about? I need some
Just because
time. I'm so mad. I don't know why I'm mad.
Hey, we about to open
That's not
this
help.
podcast up.
Okay.
We talk too much. I'm sorry.
What's going on, everybody? This is the Real Xxample podcast, and we have a loaded table today. We have TJ, per usual. Then we got Toast and Raymond hopping from behind the camera to in front of the camera. And once again, the lovely Jade Jones
With the rainbow.
with the 99.7 blood. Go ahead and let them know about yourself, Jade.
What's going on, you guys? I'm Jade, the voice of Nights at Q99.7 Atlanta State Music.
All right, so today I'm gonna turn it over to Raymond as he brings in another topic for us to discuss.
I don't know what, every time I'm here, it's because I'm bringing something to the table. All right. So,
Enlighten us, brother. Enlighten us, brother.
ready. So, in the previous episode, we talked about how our social media influences our friendships and relationships. So, today we want to delve into a little bit more broader sense from when you are younger and how relationships and friendships look and how they should grow and how you maintain them as you grow older and mature in your life and in your everyday work. How does it look, or how should it change, if it should change at all, from when you were younger to as you grow older? Because I know a lot of times people have problems with this is one I get a lot. So you get to the point where you finally maybe hang out with a friend and you're having a conversation and you're like, I don't know what happened. I feel like we fell off and I don't know what's going on and da-da-da-da, without them. And I always have to have this conversation with them and understand that, okay, so you understand the dynamic of when we were younger is not the same dynamic as what it is now. We have work, we have responsibilities, we might have relationships with other people, starting families and that kind of thing. And people tend to feel some type of way when the dynamic isn't as it was. And I just wanted to bring that to the table so we can talk about it, because I think people don't think about how it should change, but then also how to maintain it the best way. Yeah, so I just wanted to throw that.
Okay.
Whoever wants to jump in.
I'm gonna go ahead and open this thing up.
Okay, go ahead. I see we have
I'm gonna say the dynamic has to change based off your new reality. Now, I think I speak of this a little bit more than everybody else because I moved, and therefore my friendship dynamic has forever been changing from when I moved from North Carolina to Germany, from Germany to Maryland, from Maryland to Hawaii, Hawaii to Georgia, Georgia high school to Georgia college, and to Georgia professional. That is all different types of realms of your friendships changing and moving. And when I say the dynamic has changed, you have to embrace the fact that when things are now different, people are now different, things are no longer the same, and you have to find where that relationship will work. Sometimes that relationship will work via FaceTime now. Maybe it might work, we link up every Tuesday or Thursday. It might work where sometimes I'll see you every 1 or 2 or 3 months. But as you get older, other stuff with more priorities will come and make stuff happen. And one thing I've seen from my father, being that he's a soldier, there's some people he won't talk to, he won't see in person for 2 years. But when they link up, as if nothing changed. And so you have to be able to embrace that. Especially now, we're in our mid-20s, early 30s. We have more time, but it's not, we have more time than the average adult. But as we get older, you have families. You don't have a wife, you don't have kids.
Yeah.
And that new dynamic is something that everyone in your circle has to embrace and honor, and they'll either get on or they'll get lost. And that's the unfortunate reality that comes with maturing and growing up. Do I want to kick it with all the free blow the money gang every week? Of course. But there's 22 of us.
It damn sure is.
And there's 22 of us with full-time jobs. Some of us are self-employed. Some of us are working for major companies. Some of us are starting new jobs. Some of us work for Grady and Emery. You see what I'm saying?
You didn't have to.
Damn, you have to put them out there like
Why
it's all good,
why
though.
would you do that?
Because it's people got to understand because Raymond, right? Raymond be like, I'm unavailable today. And Raymond's work schedule will be 12 to 12.
Yeah.
Now, please tell me which side of that would you like? Midnight to lunch or lunch to midnight?
Right. No, literally, they would have like,
And so me being an entrepreneur, my hours are flexible, but I still have times where I have to knock out stuff from a certain time. So my work hours, I choose my hours, but when I'm working for the contracts, normally it's 11 to 7. So between 12 to 12 and 11 to 7, me and Raymond got maybe 4 hours. So when do I contact? Me and Raymond mostly do a lot of communication through his story via the gram. I comment maybe 3 hours, he come back later, and that's how our relationship works. Of course, voice messages, calls, what have you, in-person interaction works. But you have to embrace that's the new dynamic of your relationship. And most people want it always to be the same. And baby, it's not. And I'm just gonna leave it like that.
Gonna leave it like that.
drop a lot, man. I want to hear everybody else.
Honestly, I feel like you have to have some transparency with the relationship. So I feel like, and unfortunately, I feel like we've all run into people where it's like you're trying to progress your career, progress your spirituality, whatever the case may be, and they might not be on that same wave. Like they may still be like heavy club wave, and you're like, look, that's not what I'm on anymore to do it to that degree. And you just gotta be transparent with them. Like, cool, we might do that every once in a while, but like in college, the college days, hitting the club like on Mondays and stuff like that, like that's just not me. There's other people in Atlanta that do that now if that's what you need, but I can't service that aspect of the relationship that you want. So I think people have to understand like what do they want out of a relationship and what are they providing themselves. A lot of people want to take, and they're not bringing anything to the table. It's like, oh, I need you for this, I need you for this, and it's just like, but you're not bringing anything to me. So I think that's a really big thing. You gotta be transparent and bring something to the table, and then understand like, okay, like if what you're bringing to the table, they don't need that, then you gotta kind of rock with that. And like Zay said, you gotta get in when you fit in. Like it might be voice messages, it might be FaceTime and stuff like that. Like me and Zay room for like how many years? 2? 1?
Boy.
Might have been 1.5 because that internship was kind of weird. Might be a year and a half.
No, we actually lived together for 2 years, but I was definitely couch surfing. Like when I was not at the crib and I didn't have no car, I was over there often.
But yeah, so even that, like, our dynamic has changed, but there's like no love lost in that because we both have busy schedules. But whether it's voice messages, we still gonna tap in. But I think we have an understanding that we're both trying to progress. So I think when you have that mindset, when someone doesn't get back to you immediately, your first thought isn't like, oh, they don't care. It's just like, oh, they grinding, and you just leave it how it is.
So it's really about having that conversation with them and establishing that, like I said, transparency to let them know, hey, this is what I got going on. This is what I'm doing. I don't have all the time in the world. I might hit you up this time and this time. That's because that's when I'm hot. But once I'm not, I have to be doing what I have to do.
For sure. And like I said, every friend's not going to understand that. Every friend's not at a stage in their life because we're in that weird stage right now when we're in our 20s where some people are like, no, I'm still trying to be out here and be hot. Like, I'm trying to go out and run the streets. And it's like, I mean, you can do that. But like on the other side of 25 now, like my weekends look really different. I'm not saying I can't turn up. I can do it, but it's like, do I want to do that every single weekend? Probably not. So
I do know y'all buy your phones though, so the least y'all could do is answer if I do call or send a message immediately.
See, so this is what I'm trying to talk about right here. This is it.
No, what I'm saying, everybody, no, for real, everybody's on their phones now. I'm not gonna catch you at your job, like your phone or something where you have to communicate with somebody is involved now. So if you see my message or you see me calling, and I don't get no call back or text back for 3 to 4 hours, I know you looked at your phone and decided you didn't want to respond, and then you can say, I'm gonna hit you up later. No, I'm not gonna give none of y'all that type of disrespect. No. I feel like that's a little disrespectful to me. I'm gonna give y'all, hey, look, I'm busy right now.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing. Okay, for me, when, like you said, I work at Grady.
Okay.
When I put that phone down because I have a patient that
you moving.
I might not be back on that phone.
And that's what I'm saying.
For
you would be an exception. Yeah, you in the hospital, man. So you might have a person on the stretcher or whatever you doing, pushing through the hospital. So you won't.
But not everybody works at the hospital. But some people have that type of energy where they can't really be on their phone like that.
I can't believe you feel this way.
For what? Why?
Because we both worked on set, and you know when it's quiet on set, that phone better not be on.
You didn't think I had my phone on set? Let me tell you something. Let me show you something right here. Let me show you something. You pull out these AirPods, you put them in your ear. That takes the sound and all the distractions away from set.
So
I'm still on my phone. If you need to call me,
You talking?
Oh, I'm not talking on set. I'm definitely gonna deny the call, and I'm gonna send you a message. Hey, I'm on set right now. You know this, brother. What's up?
Okay, but the thing,
Okay.
but the
Some
point I'm
people
trying to
don't have
make
that
is
luck-
that,
that luxury.
I'm not the only person
I feel you.
who has
That's
to
what I'm
work
saying.
in a hospital to get that kind of
I feel
leeway.
you.
Let's say-
All of my friends don't work, in the hospital. They don't
Yeah.
have jobs like you do, so I know they're accessible. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
So my friends, my circle now is accessible.
So Jade goes live and she goes live, right? She on her show.
Another exception.
You call her, but she obviously can't take calls right now. And she can't even be on the phone.
But that's cap because I see people. You see the Breakfast Club. You see Charlamagne. You see everybody on their phone.
Yeah. But
when they're live.
she's mentally occupied.
Okay.
There ain't no pass?
I said that gets a pass, but she
I feel
would
like
definitely
some
get a
people
pass.
operate different though. That's what they getting at. Like you might be at work, you might be looking at it, but you're like, hey, I'm not.
But you
gonna
in work
respond
mode on your
between-
phone.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
You might
Sometimes
just be right there, but you're like, I'm not gonna respond between 9 and 3 because this is when I zone in.
You got that.
And
slide
unless
there,
you're
that's-
dying, unless it's like you call twice, like you call twice, okay, 100%. Let me hit you back. If you call twice and you leave a message and they still didn't respond, then they either in Raymond's situation or
I don't know.
man,
I
you
feel like
might
I
be
took.
in the group.
I feel like especially like even after I heard that Busta Rhymes video that was making its way through Instagram on how he get pissed when his people don't call, or he be quick to cut him off.
Oh,
I
yeah.
really felt that way before anyway. And so now that I know that a man just as important as he is feels that way, like shit, that shit rides.
That
If
is-
you can't respond to me, bro, in a timely manner, I can't fuck with you.
Okay.
I can't call you when I need you.
Jade,
I
how do you
really
feel
want to
about
hear what you gotta.
About the response time,
Or just, I would say we're gonna start with the response.
Yeah, let's start with
time.
response.
We're gonna go delve into
I think
that
it's
later.
tough because it's like when we want things on our time, it's easy for us to want things on our time. But if you were in that position and had your phone down and you were editing and you were just diving in, you might be like, I'm gonna put everything on hold real quick. But I'm big on we know people are constantly looking at their phones. That's your point, is like,
That's
you can't
true.
act like 6-9 hours later, you're like, oh, I'm just seeing this. Like,
Yeah.
man, you saw that when it happened. Could have forgotten. But I'm big on just let me, just say a little something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Hit you back.
Yeah.
Let me hit, whatever, text, I'm busy right now.
Yeah.
And
That's
that's
all I'm looking
definitely what I can rock with, because even for me, even though I have that crazy schedule, I'm still very big on. I would let you know, hey, listen, I'm busy right now. I'll hit you back in a couple hours when I'm off or something
Okay,
like
y'all are making me think of another point too. A tough thing that we all go through is like spending our personal and private time on the internet. If your friend doesn't answer your call, but you're like, motherfucker, I see you on your story posting all tweeting, but you ain't, but they might be like, I just need my own personal time to surf the web
Let
and
me
not
say-
think of shit.
I just wanna say this
It's
real quick.
Or you might not even want to post because you'd be like, man, somebody waiting on me to hit them back.
Okay.
Listen, my free time and my personal time are not the same thing. Just because I have free time doesn't mean that I'm going to give it to you.
Raymond, how do you feel like if that person takes you, but then you end up watching their story?
That's fine.
If I see their story pop up, I'm messing with
Now, if I see this story
If I
pop
text
up,
you and I see you tweeting Chris Brown or whoever you talking to, I'm be like, what? This your personal time? This what you doing? But you can't hit me back and say, yo, I want to tweet right now. You can't do that. That's that bullshit I'm talking about. Bro. That would be so selfish with y'all time. I want
But
to
see,
be on Twitter.
that's where the communication comes in, where I will let you know, like, that's also a situation where I'm very big on, if you hit me up and I don't feel like talking to you right now or engaging in that kind of conversation, I'll be like, listen, I'm not really into it right now, I'm not really feeling it, I'm just chilling, I'm being anti in that moment, I don't know. But I'll let you know. I think that's the biggest thing, is people they just expect people to understand, like, just know. I can't read your mind. I can't read your mind. Just let me know, like, oh, I'm really not trying to
I give that
talk right now.
energy-
I'm out of it
I
right
give
now.
the
I'll hit you back.
unresponsive energy to more of associates, but I do have like some homeboys now. We got some mutual homeboys that do that. Literally leave their phone on DND and don't give a damn who hits them up. And somebody could literally be dying.
That's one I had to deal with that very.
I don't like that either when people have their phone like constantly on Do Not Disturb. Like,
Yeah,
yo,
like-
I'll call you twice.
I had,
Damn.
I had this conversation with this particular individual. I was like, listen, I know you understand. I understand you have it on D&D all the time, but I rarely call you.
Yeah.
So if I call you, at least know it's important.
'Cause text
I would
messages-
never call you.
Our message is different now. So I'm usually texting you, but if I call you, bro, I really need something. So I
yeah.
feel you. I feel you.
Like that's the one where I'm like, I that's why I give that responsive energy. I'm big on that because I know that I need it for myself.
Yeah.
Because
Yes.
I need to. I can't expect somebody to do that for me if I'm not willing to do it for them.
Yes.
So I'm very big on. I'll communicate to you. Listen, I'm not trying to talk right now. I'm working, or I'm at the gym, or I'm at this. I'll let you know, but I then expect it from you as well.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest thing.
So right now we're talking about reciprocity.
Yeah.
Yeah, so reciprocity-wise, we talked about communication. Now, when it comes down to, all right, we childhood friends. I ain't never experienced on this.
Hold on. You want to wait? Sorry, that camera was missing for a second.
Oh my God.
What happened to the camera?
What did y'all cut?
The camera.
Did y'all cut
The
a
camera.
while?
Wait, what happened to that camera?
Well, y'all gonna let me know? Because we was definitely deep in conversation.
Battery died.
Okay.
On that one?
We're switching out.
Did y'all
Y'all
on
need,
that one down?
okay, so that battery was full.
Yeah, that's my battery. I should count. I
Wait,
thought that's why I
that
said I had it
battery was
on.
full.
Yeah, those,
Switched it.
Oh, okay.
what
Wait,
happened?
so have cameras been rolling this whole time?
Yes.
I'm about to say, bro, I'm about to be, I was gonna be hot.
That was so
I was gonna be
covert.
hot.
I was like,
Yeah, I was like,
gonna be
wait.
hot. I was gonna be hot under the collar.
Well, I guess the bloopers is gonna be inside the episodes now. But
Okay.
shit, that's cool.
All right, just let us know when we good, because we about to open this thing.
My Sony caps like that too. It'll be full and it'll be like,
And then it'll
as
die.
soon as you look away, it's like 2 minutes later, it's like I'm on red and no one knows.
Old ass iPhones used to do that too. You'd be on 100%, and then 2 seconds later you on 30.
Every time they get a
Oh,
new
so you
one, they
just-
do that.
Yeah, I guess. But you can see your battery percentage now. So
Right.
We're good to go.
We're good to go?
Yep.
your battery
Is it
health,
rolling?
I should say.
Okay. Is it? Well, let me get up and find out it's not rolling.
What was that?
Y'all could just move that camera and put it right here.
What was that?
I don't know.
Don't let me find out.
Okay, can I say something before I forget?
Yeah.
Okay, so going back to the original,
Yeah.
like the original topic, it's like when we get into school and we're in elementary school, whatever, we're forced into these situations. We make friends with people who look like us, you know, or not,
gonna say that.
but we learn to work with them. Hey, whatever, you got your school bullies, you're forced to work in this way. Then you may go on to college. You start choosing your friends, really choosing your friends, not just because you grew up with them, you played sports with them, you know their family, they lived on your street, you rode my bus. So, okay, so now we're making choices of who our friends are. We're finding people who are more like-minded than us, and then you go on and as you move into your career field, you're way more intentional about who you're choosing because you can relate to people who are walking a path that is similar to yours, so it's easier to relate. So that's how I feel we all start growing out of some of our childhood relationships.
Yeah.
I love people who still have those long-lasting relationships because I'm like, I'm so different. I don't know, but I love to see that other people have that. My dad is really like that. Like he has amazing friendships with people for a long time. But I'm like me. Some stuff I just be like, man, I don't even think like that anymore. But at the same time, we have different friends for different shit.
Facts.
That's what I'm
You
saying.
go to
That
certain
is-
people
that
because
is-
you're that type
that
of
is
friend.
facts.
I love being around you because you give me this vibe. If I want to be super intellectual with my friends, and I got that vibe. If I want a friend that's just gonna make me laugh or doesn't care about my job. But I also need friends that absolutely care obsessively about what the fuck I got going on in my job, because that's, you know what I mean? Because I need people to also be on that frequency with me. But it's like, that'd be the tough part. I'm gonna tell you, I really, when I see like basketballers and rappers, and they take like people from the bottom to the top, I'd be like, how do you really? How do they really stick by your side? How do you really? I'm not even trying to come at anybody that has any type of. I think that's a commendable thing, but I feel like that's a huge gap. That's a huge gap of knowledge to have walked. They didn't walk that same walk, and that's not to speak down on anyone. That's to say, like, can those people really relate? Like, men will really be looking out for their crew and their squad so deeply. I don't know, for a long time. Where I don't know. You know what I mean? I just be like.
I mean, that's that brotherhood thing that I guess we learned.
But I
when we
also
was
think that
little.
is so, there's such a double-edged side to that. It can be a great thing because they'll support you. They love you. They knew you before that. They still believe in you. But then it's like, ooh, I don't know, that can turn around very quickly.
Yeah. Because
Or
as
people
you
will be
say-
like, man, we on day ones. But don't you love that person enough to like want them to also seek and be around people who can, I
can
don't,
elevate
you know?
them.
I know
feel
exactly
that.
what you're talking
I feel
because
that.
Who wanna
just
speak
like
on
you're
it?
saying, like if you that it could be a very double-edged sword. It's like that's my day one, and that's my ride or die. We've been through everything together. But then on the other side, as you change, as both of you change, you might not be able to fit as well with
Yes.
each other as you grow older, but because you want to stick and keep this thing together so much, you're almost sacrificing who you're supposed to become
Yeah.
in order to fit.
That's what I'm trying to say.
To
That's
fit
why
into
it's so
that.
crucial.
Say it again.
Yes.
One more
Run that back, Turbo.
time.
You are willing to sacrifice who you're supposed to become to hold on to this relationship so that y'all can still fit. Because that's one thing everybody vibrates at a different frequency. Everybody does, I believe that. But what you have to also realize is that frequency changes as you grow.
Yes.
So if you are vibrating at a different frequency as somebody else, but you can't recognize that y'all are different, and that's something I had to realize very recently, is like, I want to be really close to this certain person, this certain group of people, to the point where I was sacrificing who I was supposed to be or sacrificing my peace.
Yes.
Because I still wanted to fit in the same way as I did with them years ago. It don't work like that. As you grow, you have to change. And as you change, that change affects everything else that you do. And so that's something I had to come to peace with, because they don't fit. Now, I'm not saying that I'm gonna cut them off and I'm not gonna be dealing with them. I'm just gonna be dealing with them in a different way. Because you have to be able to recognize that about them and about yourself.
Yes.
And so I just had to say that.
I mean, that's
I want to expound on that.
That's what
Yeah, I want to get in on that.
Let's marinate.
That's what
Because-
buckets come to play.
Let's marinate on that.
There's different types of changes now. You got, changing for just yourself, personal growth, and then you just got this, you're kind of being artificial with it now. Like, you're really trying to stunt on me type thing. And that's why I'm seeing, this is what I'm seeing in a few people right now. I have a few of my friends that, they really try that shit. They try to stunt on some of the, friends that we have that are beneath them, or, and it may not be out of, just a malicious intent or whatever, but that's just how they're moving now. And I'm like, bro, what's happened to you? Like, what the fuck has really happened to you? Like, you got this money in your pocket, you feeling good, you got your skin looking nice, you done lost 100 pounds, whatever the case may have been. What has happened to you for, like, where is your integrity at? Like, where has that been what I knew from, day one? Where have I known that? I knew you I knew how you were back then. Where is that at now? Like, why is this changing? So, like, how do you know what's the difference between, like,
See,
I guess
and
your...
so
I
with
think
that
a lot of.
oh, everybody, go ahead. I love it. Go ahead.
I think that people kind of be like, they be feeling misunderstood too. And that they might feel like they've walked this different walk of life and something new, and they had people to relate to them that did it with them, and those are their, but they still have love for you, but they just feel like, you can't relate to that thing, but you're still my good friend. Because they got their close friends. Just like you may have your close friends in the film industry, and that's y'all's thing, but if your boys try to talk about it, you'd be like, man, I don't know. But those are you will die, cry, laughing with them. Like, I don't know. But that space, it's just kind of also like a little jealousy that we have with our friends. Like, okay, things are different now, we're not as close. And you can let things get in the middle and be like, or you can just like love them for where they're at, and they have to feel the same way about you.
Boom. I think Kevin Samuels, he was talking about this on another great podcast called the Roommate Podcast. He said people are familiar with what they're around. So once people start elevating, start moving in different realms, they have to be around. They're required to be around a certain group of people for a certain amount of time, whether it be for work, whether it be around just in general. For example, someone who's investing $20,000 a year compared to $100,000 a year, they can't have the same conversation because it's a different type of tax bracket, but also different types of lifestyles. She talked about industry. I could talk to you about the film industry in depth, PAs. We have our executive director, jokes. TJ, my brother. He not gonna get no executive director jokes.
Which is understandable. Exactly. I'm doing the same shit.
And me, my blood brother over there, we have jokes that just run in strictly in the Robertson household.
Right.
And so there's different pockets of love, different pockets of where it comes from in depth. Like me and Raymond, we could talk about, you was talking jollof rice. We could talk about anything Africana,
international.
because this is where it's gonna come from. And we can talk about hitting the next Raymond Shuffle 3.0 that might be dropping soon. And so it's a different level of respect because I have friends from West Africa. I have friends from the Congo. I have friends. We can go there. I can go there with Raymond. And there's certain places where Raymond can go with you that I'm just gonna be like, all right, bro. That's right. You know what I'm saying? It goes over my head. And I think everyone isn't cool with that. You know what I'm saying? And it was like in elementary school, it was like we all had to get together. Now we grown.
get to choose.
You get to choose. And now, since with the freedom of choices also comes with choices also comes slight. There's also a feeling of I'm not first place, second place no more, and you got to accept that. Some people that you're going to be like, all right, I was hitting them up every week. Now we hitting them up maybe once a month. Now I don't really hear from them, and I guess it is what it is. There's never no love lost for real, but it's just not tight no more. And I think that just comes with time as people grow. And you also got to think about this. I forget the average person. I forget the statistic. The average person doesn't realize what they really want until like, what was it, 30 something, around like 30. Like, so that's talking about men. Like, a man doesn't hit his prime until he's 30. Anyone here 30? So we haven't hit the best version of ourselves yet, right? So once we hit the best versions of ourselves and we evolve, then how different is this going to look now? Is the TRX podcast even still TJ Risky Zay?
That's one thing that I will say is like, when you think about great friends that have been in your life, even if it ended shitty, even if you're like, ugh, we were tight, it's like they helped you, and they were like, sometimes like the opposite thing that you needed to help you get through those times, be stronger, be more outgoing, be more loving, be more thoughtful. Like, they'll teach you so many things on those phases, and then it was just a growing period. It's not to say that it's so temporary, but people really don't ever go away like we think they do. Because like sometimes you'll forget about somebody, literally a friend, an ex, whatever, 5 years, 10 years may pass, and they'll just like pop up as relevant as ever in that moment, like around you. So it's like, if it ended badly, well then it might still be, fuck them to you. But if they're still good friends and y'all didn't fall that bad, you can pick up where you left off, So it's like your friends really help you get through some phases. And sometimes you can just like, as you get older, you just be like, man, even if it didn't end well, you'll be like, I really appreciated them for being there for those times. Or like, you know what? That's a crazy motherfucker. Fuck you. But
Do y'all think?
But I wanted to speak on what you said real quick about when you said that you somebody that was your day one and then it kind of changed over time. And then you just have to realize how it's gonna shift and move.
But it changed over time. Let me tell you, it changed over time, and I didn't know it changed over time. That's what I'm saying.
Oh.
Because
So, and then that's what I was gonna bring up.
Okay, go ahead.
Communication. If you are able to communicate and articulate to this person how it's changing and how you are changing and what that change is gonna mean, then it's different. But if you are like blindsiding this person and it just comes out of nowhere in terms of, I've changed and they're not changing with me and I don't see how they're, so I'm just gonna cut them off. That's the one I don't agree with at all. Because
It's unfair.
It's
almost like you're ghosting your friend.
Yeah.
That wouldn't really make sense.
Because the way I see it,
I've had that happen to me so many times this year, just because I'm one of the people in my life you hear from everybody. I haven't changed. Like, I've changed as far as mentally, as far as like how I carry myself, as far as my money and how I carry myself personally. But my personality has not changed like that. I'm still the same nigga who gonna make jokes with you all day, every day. And there are other people who just have not been on that same vibe with me this whole time, but literally haven't been saying, they've been letting it add up of just fake kicking it with me, fake being on the phone with me every day, all that shit, until it gets to a point where I'm having one of them conversations with them, or something that came up where we got into a little slight argument over some bullshit that they never liked about me from the jump. And then it's just like, all right, my nigga, I am done with you after this day, you're gone. Like, and I don't even know why until they tell somebody else. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I'm not understanding. Where is that coming from now?
Okay.
What type of shade is that?
There's two things. There's two things I want to touch on. So one is self-reflection and our sense of hubris. People always feel as if they are never the variable. In life, you are always a variable. You are always changing. Whether you know it's subtle or whether that you went and made this intentional change, subconsciously, there's always going to be change happening. So even though you might not think there's a lot of massive changes, for all they know, they could see a lot of massive changes that you don't quite see in yourself.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things. But two is also that trust. You know what I mean? That transparency. If the trust and transparency was there from the jump, and also just looking at rhythms of behavior.
Yes.
People are creatures of habit until they break habits. TJ knows me inside and out, and I know him pretty well. I also know when TJ says he's gonna be there at 6:05, he really in the parking lot at 5:55, more times than not. TJ says when I'm on the way, more likely than not, I'm about 7 to 8 minutes out the way, and I'm not gonna be there like I said I was. Like there's idiosyncrasies that you learn about each other, and once you have picked up on a certain person's pattern, and it has proven to be a pattern, you have to respect that. And so when there's patterns, there's variables, and then there's trust and transparency. Those three things kind of make up some of the extent of what it comes out when we're talking about losing relationships. And if you're down with if someone has a way of operating and it might be greasy and you see it, don't ever think you will be above the line of not getting caught like that. Because if they operate like that,
so real. Oh my god.
if they operate like that in business, they operate like that on the playground, they operate like that in general, it's gonna be a situation where it's gonna butt heads.
Absolutely.
It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And when it does happen, you have to choose to either respond, because you can't get mad because you allowed it to happen.
Yeah.
You allowed it to happen for so far and you didn't check it at jump. So if you didn't check it at jump, why you mad now? Because it's you on the receiving bullet? But I've been shooting this gun the same way the whole entire time.
Facts.
Yep. I think also it's very hard for us to have honest conversations with our friends about uncomfortable things.
Not me.
Because they're our
But I feel you,
friends.
though.
And like sometimes we laugh with them about their bullshit and what they do to other people, whatever. But like some of those very things will bother the hell out of you. And there's only so many times you'll tell yourself like that's how they are, then you're gonna be like, I don't like that. But you could have told them, and somebody might be like, I didn't know you was so serious about that. Like, I won't do that again. Or they could be the friend that's like, man, fuck that. Well, then you don't want to be around them anyway because you'd be like, you're not even really hearing me. But we don't tell each other a lot of awkward shit in our friendships because we'd be like, especially in crews, because they might be like, man,
I feel like you should. I feel like that's the
like-
whole
that's
point
like-
of a
we
friendship.
should.
We should.
But
How would
it would help so many
It
things.
would.
But that's what you're saying. Like, somebody might be over here
TJ
counting
has-
tabs
TJ
on
has
you,
something to say.
and you don't even
I
know.
like that.
So back to your first point where you're saying like celebrities, you don't see how they have like the same guy. I think it's a two-sided thing. So a lot of times, especially I can't speak to, I'm not a celebrity, but I imagine you have a lot of fake love around you. So when you have someone that's like, at least this person is going to be transparent, that's worth more to me than them not being able to elevate to my level. Like even though they can't vibrate this high, maybe they're still maxing out whatever they are. Maybe they're a plumber and they're maxing that out. Like LeBron James, he might have a plumber friend. They're never going to be on the status of LeBron James, fame, money-wise, but they're maxing out plumbing. And he comes back and he's like, yo, I did this, and they're going to keep it 100 with him. They're not going to be like, it's LeBron, so let me tuck my shirt in real quick. Mr. James, like, they're just going to be like, yo, no, like, this is what you did, and this is how you could have did a little bit better. So a lot of times, especially as a man, I can rock with that because I think as you hit certain heights, people become yes men, right? They're like, okay, I want to tell them the truth, but shoot, this dude just paid for this whole vacation. He's bringing my family out. He just gave my mom like a little something. I can't really tell him what I wanted to tell him because he might cut me off. So as a man, like,
Get off the bus.
you know what I'm saying?
Jump off.
Get off the bus now.
Oh, I'm not covering his room.
As a man, you respect that. I think respect is just a huge part of that. So it's like if you can find that, sometimes that's worth more than them actually trying to vibrate up to your level.
Yeah.
Especially if they're trying. Like I feel like I have probably 3 close friends, like Zay, then I have 2 other guys that I've known, one friend since like 3rd grade. But like when I can see you trying to get better, like there's some obviously like with that much history, there's shit that went wrong.
Right.
There's shit where it's like, all right, bro, like. But we always have those talks where it's like, yo, bro, like you did this. Like it's never been a situation where it's like, okay, like I'm gonna take your side just because I'm your boy. It's like, no, bro, you did this. You
And
gotta
you
do this
violated
better.
it.
Like
Yeah.
you violated this. Like there's no way you can get around this. And the moment that becomes an issue where it's like, well, no, you, and then it's like that's when you kind of pull back because it's like you're not really hearing what I'm trying to say. You're letting the friendship kind of dictate how you think everything else around us should operate.
Okay.
That's the biggest point, a really big point right there because I'm a very loud, goofy, joking all the time kind of person. But when I get serious, I get serious. I have.
It's time to talk.
I have the ability to have those kind of conversations. And back to the point of I vibrate on a different frequency. If I'm able to vibrate into that frequency and tell you that, listen, yo, this is something I'm not rocking with. This is something I'm not. You have to be able to receive it in such a way that you know that I'm being serious. I'm not joking. I'm not being funny. And then over time, if you don't recognize that as, oh, but Raymond, it's just, we're just being funny. Then I have to be the one to be like, okay, this is clearly you're not getting what I'm saying. I'm gonna have to make a decision based off of what I'm seeing. So that's where I'm like, I get it that, you know, saying you can change and people are like, I didn't know that you were, but then that's when the choice comes in. Are you choosing the right kind of friends who can recognize when you are being serious, when you are being funny, when you are doing what you need to be doing, so that you can just gel and mesh in the right way.
Yeah.
So that's when that choice becomes very important as well too. So I just wanted to say that real quick.
I would say, man, that choice is huge, and not only this choice, but this, like TJ said, that transparency and being that trust and transparency. I think a lot of people take for granted. How real can I be with you? And if I have to hold something back from you,
We don't need to be perfect.
not even that, you can still be friends, but I can't allow you to go to certain levels with me.
Exactly.
I can't allow you to know certain aspects of my life.
Yeah.
And if I feel like I have to hold that back, then I can't be me and I'm muted. And then that's legit a mental.
And then you're gonna slowly see less and less of me because it's a natural law of natural selection. If I'm going into a space where I have to mute myself, over time I'm gonna be like, I'm not gonna want to go in that space no more. Like over you and you
Did
just
that as kids on the playground. Shit.
Like,
you with
if
some
I'm
kids
getting
and you're not
bullied over
bothering
there,
with them, I'm gonna go to the
I'ma
swing
go-
set and
like,
go hang with
find
these
somebody
little niggas
else.
over here doing what they doing. So, you know.
And what's it called? I think about sometimes where there used to be three of us, me, TJ, and somebody else. And legit, it became two because the third party was operating in a way that neither me or TJ rocked with. And it was painful because you have so much love for that person.
Yeah.
And they
Yes.
probably been there for so long too.
And they support it and they do everything and they're like, they're pouring into us. But when you get to a certain point where it's like, all right, bro, I'm not rocking on how you moving. I'm not feeling on how you doing. And all you get back is static. You're not even listening to understand. You listening to respond.
Yeah.
I'm listening to respond, but
And
I'm gonna go ahead and
so-
holler at you.
And that's where a situation where you like, all right, I'm gonna give it some air. I'm gonna give it some space. And if we come to reconvene again, we can build on what we once upon a time had.
So you think you
got
can
the train.
So you think you can rebuild a?
Oh snap! Y'all hear that train?
Vlad gave me the train cue.
Okay. Train cue.
Remember your train of thought, Marcus.
Oh no, I'm not gonna lose this one. This one's gonna stay here.
Oh.
He disrespectful with the horn too. He's just gonna do that little
He be
bitch
doing a
ass.
little bit.
Is this? Oh yeah.
Oh, y'all pause? Okay.
That bitch let it loose as soon as he get through here.
We gonna roll through it. Yeah, cause he shouldn't be here for too long.
Who?
This dude. It's the one that be always hitting something on the train tracks that we gotta be worried about.
He sound like he been running over cows and cars.
Yeah. There's a
That
dude.
sound like
He
an
talk like,
it sounds like
oh,
an
that's
explosion.
yeah.
It do. It sound like he really blew some shit up probably about 2-3
It
weeks
sound like
ago.
an explosion.
Because you be trying to figure out what did he hit because
The whole train's going smooth until you get to the middle.
Boom.
Sorry, that motherfucker hitting the speed bump. Like, God damn.
Yes, sir. Oh, that was your TikTok followers going up again.
Okay, sir.
But you at 20K now?
Bruh.
Yes.
That's lit.
That's
Get
lit.
your chin up a little bit down this way.
I'm at 19.2.
Damn.
Damn.
Hey, that's
He
lit.
just had 10 last week.
I was at 10 last week.
I love it.
Bro,
The
this
week
is
before he was at like maybe
amazing.
what
He going
1,000.
crazy.
That
I
man-
tried to fit in the TikTok thing. I
I
just
don't know
can't
what
do
it-
it. I can't fit
But
in
no,
there.
but here's the problem now.
You can.
Now,
Everything is
I'm
on.
trying to recreate the magic and I can't.
Don't have a block, bro.
Called TikTok.
The algorithm is not messing with me.
Oh, it ain't
bro.
fucking with you no
No,
more?
That
bruh.
shit,
It'll
like,
kick
it will
in.
give you so much reward, and it will also, you'll go times that you're stagnant, and
I'm
you'll be
like,
like, oh,
I
because
don't
it's like
know
a
what to
game.
do.
You'll kick in. It's gonna kick in when you at least expect it.
The only
Yes.
reason why I'm still like still going up is because of that initial like.
Yeah.
Is that,
And you're gonna go up a
that
lot.
video's still doing numbers.
You're gonna go up a lot from
But
that.
all the other videos is like,
Yeah, you're gonna go up a lot from that.
huh?
They'll go past
The pastor didn't hit. That one was. I thought it was
Bro,
God,
what I
bro.
say, keep
I'm
going,
probably
bro,
saying
because
you
that shit's gonna go.
Bro,
You're
what's-
probably gonna go up, and let's say you stop at 26K. It'll be like that for about 2-3
And then here's
months.
what's crazy.
You gonna go to 50
You're gonna hit another.
out of nowhere. You're gonna go to 50K out of nowhere with
With
13,000 followers on Instagram.
He's still here. All right, we're just gonna get him something.
Because you got people gonna be like, all right, I like this video. What else he got to offer? And if you stop, you'd be like, I guess he gave up.
They be like, I want to follow him, but his last
Bruh.
post.
His last post was 3 months ago.
That's what happened with me on Vine, bro. I made that one video and thought I was gonna be cool, and then after that, I got 3,000-4,000 followers, and after that, shit, I didn't make no more videos. Who are you? You trying to pull up to this little complex Vine City Com, whatever? No, we don't know you. You ain't putting out no content.
He was like, but I made old blog.
No, we don't care about that. Say what?
Are you about to run on set? We good? Quiet.
Oh, we gotta be quiet on.
Quiet storm.
Alright, it's not picking up in the mic. We can run it.
I bet. So we're gonna pick it up, and
Oh, I had a question. Sorry.
yes, sir.
So y'all do feel like y'all can pick up from relationships that have ended shitty, as y'all feel like. If y'all had a relationship that ended off real bad, do you think you could pick it back up down the line as soon as y'all had time to clear space and everything like that with the certain individual? Do y'all feel like y'all can pick that shit back up?
I can forgive
In my book,
him.
no. We ain't never going back. But I might just be a little, that might be just like a little immature of me. I don't care. I don't care because I just feel like if
I
you
feel that,
made
though.
me feel like you really did something that made me, even if you were like, oh, it wasn't a big deal. To me, it's like,
It was a big deal to me.
oh my God, because I would never. So it's like, I don't even want to, no, I can't. Because as soon as I can't forget it.
I'm the same
I
way.
associate you with that thought.
I'm the same way. I'm the same way.
Man.
If I feel like if it ends real rocky, where to the point where I feel disrespected, it is fuck you forever. And I'm real petty with it too. I'm real petty. I'm gonna throw shots at you like how
But
I'm going for you.
But do you
I'm
think
on your ass?
Do you think after some time has passed,
It don't matter.
depending on how long that is, y'all can sit down and maybe have a conversation?
That doesn't matter to me because I want to have that conversation when it should have been had, when you first had that initial issue.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's say that is when that conversation happens and y'all.
If we have that conversation when you first had an issue and you real upfront about it and you being real transparent with me, I'm gonna listen, bro. I'm gonna open up because I see we ain't never had no, especially if we've never had a conversation like this before.
Yeah.
Like if we've been friends for this long and we've never been in an argument, never done anything, never even went there. If you really feeling this type of way about me, say that shit. I'm gonna hear you out because you have never been this uncomfortable with me before. Then we can move from there because I'm gonna be willing to change myself. I'm gonna be like, damn, my brother has been compromised by me, like he feels betrayed by me, he feels fucked up by me. So I'm gonna figure out what it is about me that I need to fix because like I said, we've never had this conversation and we're gonna move accordingly. But if you do some ugly shit and we don't have a chance to talk about it, like grown ass men with beards who are 25, we're never going to talk again because that's disrespect. I respect all of y'all. I love all my homeboys. I'm gonna give y'all the respect. If I have a problem with you, I'm gonna talk to you that same exact day.
And that's my thing.
If you fucked up with me,
you earn a certain level of respect from people over time. I
Sure.
get it. And that's also another thing about the date, like having day ones versus choosing as you grow. There are certain people that they have earned. In my opinion, my humble opinion, they've earned the right for you to be like have that transparency with them and come to them about certain
sure.
things. You can't just. You don't get to just cut certain people off.
for sure, you're
I
my
feel like
extended family if you're my friend. Bro.
You have to have that conversation with them and be transparent about
For sure.
what it is, how you feel, what's been going on, how it's been going on, and all that. Because at a certain level, they know you as much as you know them. You earn that respect from them, and if you expect certain things from them, then they have the right to expect certain things from you. So you don't get to just cut them off and just move in that way. We changed and I didn't.
Yeah.
That's my biggest thing. Like, because I'm very big on, if I can't vibrate with you, then I'm gonna cut you off. But that means also then I have to be able to be willing to have that conversation with that person to let them know this is what you did.
And this is why I'm.
This is why I'm moving on, or this is why our relationship is changing. So if you can't have that, then
If that
I
conversation
100%
never
agree
happens,
with you.
it's
Because
fuck,
everybody's different,
It
though.
is fuck you.
But here's the thing though, everybody's not on that level. I'm gonna play devil's advocate real quick. Some people, they need that space. They need the time to sort through.
Just about to say that.
They need the time to sort through
That
their.
comes with time.
That doesn't
That
even
again,
matter.
that
to
goes
me.
back to the choice.
Why should that matter?
Because
Not
if
everybody's
you really
different.
care about that person, you have to let them heal in the way
There's
that
there's a
familiar
right
to.
way to handle things with people, and there's a wrong way. There's no.
And some people
To
don't.
you.
And some
No,
people
that's
don't.
how the world works. There's no in
But
between.
no,
It's black and
talking
white,
about
brother.
I'm talking about that specific thing. It's that specific like sentiment. It goes
about-
both
think about
ways.
like
I need
this, man.
time to
Yes.
process. I'm mad at you.
Think about it
Yes.
like this. Think about
Yes.
No,
Just
I'm
because
pissed at you.
just because-
No, if I'm mad at you, nigga, I'm mad at you. This
Just
is why
because
I'm
you
pissed
say it in
for.
that voice, don't change that. It's
No, you're a
right.
pussy. What are you talking about? I need some
Just
time.
because
I'm so mad. I don't know why I'm mad.
Think
No,
about it.
But a lot of
Think about it-
times,
think about it
could've
like
been the
this,
tip
bro.
of the
If you-
iceberg. They might have been feeling that way for a minute. and that was like-
Exactly. Why did you let that shit accumulate that long?
Think
Because
about it like
some
this. Think
people
about it like
are
this.
not-
If you
bro,
had
You're not a man.
No.
You're not a man.
Some
Sorry,
people
you're not a
are
man.
just not as confrontational.
You gotta
It's
think
not
of
confrontation.
Yes,
It is.
Yes, it is.
Bro, the art of communication, that is like that they have to
That-
be able to because remember how we say it's not what you say, it's how you say it sometimes. So if they need time to process it in such a way that they don't come at you left field
Yes.
so that you can receive it the right way.
Because Marcus, if they were to come at you as strong as you're coming at them, I promise you, y'all will never talk again.
gonna put the
And
fist
that
up.
that
Bro, I
and-
hate
because-
this fight. Look at free smoke.
I'm not. Y'all think I'm
Free
coming at
smoke
them
easy.
strong? No, it's not that. Like, if I already call you my brother, I should be able to talk to you just any type. Not any type of way, but I should be able to have an open form of communication. If I have a real deal issue, I should be able to say it.
There's still
like,
growth in time, though. Think about it. Like, someone
don't-
that's 21, between the span of 21, like he said earlier, and 30, as a man, you're going to be two totally different people. So the way you're handling situations at 21 and 30 are going to be
Facts.
different.
Facts.
So what the real conversation is when that person comes back to you, I mean, hopefully it's not that long of time, but when they come back to you, they have to be okay with you. Well, personally, I will forgive them because I feel like that's something I'm charged with, but at that point, that doesn't mean I'm gonna accept you back into my life.
Facts.
I think that's
Facts.
where the
Yeah,
decision
yeah.
comes
I'm
to.
okay
So
with
it's like
forgiveness.
I will
Yeah,
hear
yeah.
you out,
I'm
and hear what
forgive
you
you.
said,
I'm
but it's
forgive
like
you all
you
the
might
time,
not.
but I'm not gonna forget that bullshit you did. Like,
yeah, exactly. Like once you like for me, once you have violated any type of trust, friendship, what have you, you're forever gonna be at arm's length.
facts.
Yes.
And I will be cordial with you. Ain't no hostility this way. But the same conversations we had, the same detail that you had about my family, the same things that we once upon a time had
That's
these
never happened.
conversations.
Yeah, that's,
You just gonna have peace with this is where I'm at.
See,
And you ain't getting no
you don't
you
get
ain't
the
getting
same
close to my
access.
heart.
And
no
I'm
more.
different
Yes.
because I can't fake kick it with you. I can't fake kick it and be cordial with you. I can't. I've never been. Built
see,
like
there's a
that.
difference
I
you're not
cannot.
even saying kicking it versus
Well, yeah,
like
that's what
seeing
I'm-
them in public. Versus
Yeah,
like,
but
it's-
yeah,
And in life, because some people
Yeah.
love you and they still want to be your friend, even if you're mad at them and you're like, no. They will still like
you
kind
don't have
of
to
be
kick it with
there.
them.
They
You don't have
want
to
you
delete their comment on the gram either.
Oh, I will.
Leave it up.
I am.
You can leave it up.
Oh, I am.
Leave it
I
up.
am. You're blocked.
But, but I think that's there's levels. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's levels to it, and you're at a different level where it comes down. If it was a problem, let's talk. Some people
need time.
They need time,
They
and
need the time to process.
and
Personality.
in the life that we've lived, in the short time I've been on this earth, I realized that you gotta let it breathe. And because the last thing you ever want to do is for someone to leave this earth, and then you were like, damn. You look back at the scope and the scale of things, because you got the scope and the scale, right? So you got the scope. Did it affect you and your family? Did it affect your friends? Did it affect your job? Did it affect your career? Did it affect your whole entire workplace, your heart? And that's the scope, right? And the scale. Okay, so that's the scope, right? The people it affects in the scale. How big of the damage was it? And we be talking money. We talking like, was it $1 million? Was it your car was destroyed? Was it your career you lost? You know what I'm saying? You got fired. So based off the scope and the scale, is it worth me forever never talking to this person again? Some violations, the scope and scale,
They warrant it.
Yep.
I don't see how I don't see how some people are friends to this day based
Yeah.
off the scope and scale of some stuff. But when you look at like the holistic picture of life,
Yeah.
you got your kids, your grandkids, your babies, all of that. Did you violate them? Is it that big of a deal? So when you look at the scope and scale of things, a lot of the issues that we really think at the time are huge. When you look back, hindsight 2020,
Yeah. That's why some people need time, so that they can get perspective. But I also understand. Let me put it in a better context. I definitely think.
Train, sir.
Oh, we have trains.
Y'all heard that little? He hit me
Did
with
y'all
that.
not see
Oh,
the?
that's what that means. He's not throwing up the X. He's just like,
thought
oh, that's
Wakanda
I
forever.
know he's just saying like.
Wakanda
the
forever.
I
train,
thought Wakanda
like,
forever. That's what.
No, like the train sounded like.
I don't hear no.
This one's a lot more.
Oh, okay.
It's coming, but it's taking. Is
it
its sweet
coming?
time.
Is it going slow?
Is
I
it
just heard,
going?
I heard the bell.
I hear
ring.
a rumble, but
Because we normally,
I think it's going away.
we've been talking over the rumble the last.
Oh no!
Oh.
We got our answer.
I was like, man,
He spun the block, bro. He built different. He built different out
the
there.
camera here. He's like, oh, they think I ain't coming.
So he said,
I'm
I'm about to be on the podcast today. nigga. We gonna be on here today.
So
Proud sponsors of the train.
Close house train. Go ahead and drop my name.
Atlanta train. Coming through here.
I'm gonna find that train company too.
Listen,
No, that's not
he's mean.
disrespectful.
Oh, okay. All right.
He's
He hit that. Oh,
y'all hear me?
apartment
Oh, y'all
complex
don't hear
right
me?
there.
Let me do it again. Y'all hear me?
He's really waking me up.
Yeah, bro, this is the dude who be that used to wake me up at 3 a.m.
rent should be no more than $800 over here. If that train would run through here every 10 minutes like that.
I could be signing my lease and hear that.
Okay,
That would
cool.
change. the
Damn,
whole
we've been
scope
talking-
of, like everything.
I feel like this.
All right, but like y'all know about the charge.
This is the hour and 30. Because
I got. Well, anyways, no. Let me.
But go ahead, go ahead.
Yeah. So we got we're gonna bring it back. Go ahead, Raymond, finish out your thought, and then we're gonna talk about there's some key takeaways on how to grow with your friends, how to resolve resolutions.
Please, I want you. I want you.
Please.
Okay, so I would say, I think Nick Saban said this, but he said when emotions are high, intelligence is low. So the reason why we keep saying you gotta let stuff breathe is because there's certain things that happen and you attack it in that situation. That's why people run to social media and stuff like that. When your emotions are so high, you start saying things where you don't actually mean it, or you start like firing off the hip and you just spraying. Now they talking about your mom and they would never actually say that in their right mind. So
Damn.
when you have that awareness as you get older, and I feel like when we're younger, we don't always have that. It's like, no, I'm talking to you right now. We're gonna yell, we're gonna scream, we're gonna kick. But it's like, if I know that some people know they can't address you, like you were saying earlier, in their right mind at that time.
Yeah.
So they realize, like, I gotta let it breathe, gather my thoughts so I can actually process and say what it is I actually want to say.
Where did
He's going hard.
it
Sounds like some motorcycle.
I was like, bro, what was
That's not
that?
the audio, but
This pissing me off. But go ahead.
do it. But yeah, that was pretty much my point, though. You gotta let it breathe for that reason sometimes.
And just to kind of give it a little bit more perspective, but I still see what you're saying, but there's a middle ground to that.
It is.
Let it breathe, but don't let it breathe too long.
Oh, yeah,
I feel
because,
that.
right, because a lot of times, because specifically for me, if I need to talk about something and I feel like enough time has passed, all right, let's have that conversation. If I don't have that conversation in a timely manner, my empathy is gonna turn to apathy.
Yeah.
Because in order for me to move on and not think about it, I need to not care.
Yeah.
Because if I care, I'm gonna keep, bro. When are we gonna talk? Nope. What's the? I haven't heard from you in a week. I haven't heard from you in a month. What are we doing? Are we just moving on? Then that's when I'm like, okay, bet.
Yeah.
I have to be apathetic about this now. So that's why I'm like, I get it. There is a way to, but there's a middle ground.
I give you 2 days.
2 days?
Give you 2 days. You
I
got 2
mean,
days to talk to me. And
everybody's
then after
different.
that, it's fuck you and your mama on Twitter and in the group chats.
Bruh.
And you know, and I'm sorry, y'all know I'm like that.
I know you are.
I've
I've
been
seen it.
operating like that.
I've seen it.
because I want you to. I want you to feel this. This is where I'm coming from,
What
bro.
if they communicate that? I
They
mean, about
do.
a week.
Okay, if they did, cool. We gotta talk for a whole week. I'll give you a week and a day.
Okay,
You gotta come holler at me though. Come talk to me.
that's real.
We gotta talk.
The more, he's basically saying the more time that you take,
It's
you
more
gotta-
fuck
you
you.
gotta-
Because when the more time that goes, the more I don't give a fuck. Because I felt bad the first day. The second day, I felt bad. Third week come up, I don't give a damn now.
Yeah, that's what
If you don't have the nuts to come talk to me now, then don't ever talk to me. Don't ever
I'm
talk
gonna say
to
it a
me.
little bit nicer. It's a survival
Nope.
tactic because you have to be apathetic in order to focus and
Yes.
move on with your life.
Yes.
Because if I'm constantly thinking about this, I'm like,
It's gonna
damn.
take away dreams. It's gonna
Like,
drag it.
did I say something wrong? What did I say? I don't know how I can fix it because they're not reaching out. I can't. You see what I'm saying? Like, I have to then be apathetic and not care, and then now you fucked up. So,
All right, y'all.
yeah, listen.
Shouts out to the train, man, for fucking up the whole
Oh, he
podcast.
on that
bro.
Sonic and Shadow when they used to be on the.
Oh,
He on that He going hard out there, man.
Hey, you can wrap this up.
Yeah, go ahead.
They don't need to be here.
Yeah.
They need to go.
I would like to wrap it up, but we need a clean, crispy take. And that train. Just being hella disrespectful.
Y'all did bless me with some knowledge today, though. I am gonna move a little bit differently. Still the same
He's adding extra.
brown that
Same
I
brown.
still the
brown.
same brown man that I am, but I'm gonna move a little bit more militant, with certain things.
He's adding
Militant?
He's adding an extra day.
He's adding an extra day.
Add an extra
I'll give you 3.
But it is still fuck you.
Oh my god.
I heard somebody say, I saw somebody tweet something interesting the other day that really, really made me think, and they were like, we need to give our friends as much grace as we give our partners and the people we're talking to. And when I tell you that, it's like, it's crazy, right? Because it's like, if I see a friend do something that it doesn't feel right to me, I'll dead it quick. Like, done. Especially where I'm at my age, like, I don't trust. You don't have to show me too many times that I can't trust you. I need to see it one time for you to feel like I'm even that dumb to disrespect me, that I feel like I'm good. I don't have to explain no shit. I don't care. Maybe it's just my cold heart this year,
that's
but
great.
like I'm like, damn, if we, I don't even know if I'm like, I don't know if I would want to show my. Yes, we should be more graceful towards our friends, though. I think like because we give our partners or people we're talking to more chances. Maybe not y'all as guys, but I mean, yeah, girls do it all the time. Like you'll see your friends take people back or whatever. You'll be like, what the? Hey, you better treat everybody like that if you're gonna be, it's just not.
It's definitely a middle ground for sure.
Yeah.
For it. Yeah.
So, okay, what's the last things? Well, we already know what you're taking away, because you have said
Don't let me
it,
say anything else.
and you've said a lot.
Don't let me say anything else.
So for everybody else, when it comes down to growth, when it comes down to resolving conflict long term, what is the takeaways you want to get to the people?
Well, I guess I'll go first. But I think primarily it'd be hard to give grace if you never received it. I know, like, Pastor Mike was talking about that, and I thought about it for a second, because I was like, okay, if you've been around people that, like, cut you off immediately, like, that's how you're going to respond to situations, whether you've seen that in your family at a young age, or like, okay, so when this person does this, this is what I'm supposed to do. If you've never had anybody say, okay, I understand, kind of be empathetic with you, you've never experienced that, so you don't know how to actually, you feel like you're a person that hasn't experienced it?
And I feel like technology is another thing, because it's like people ghost each other so much now because they can. And you can literally block someone out of your view, your life, your
vision,
screen.
yeah.
And so it's just like, yeah, it comes down to, for me, lasting relationships. If you respect me, I will respect you.
Oh my God.
Because I feel like if respect is number one, because I know how I couldn't treat somebody off of how they respect themselves and how they respect me. So it's like, I feel like it's easy for me to maintain that. It's when something like crazy happens or foul that I'd be like.
And my takeaway, 2 things: communication and comprehension. Communication and not even just effective communication. You have to be able to articulate what you're feeling, how you're feeling, and not feel like you're being dismissed or silenced or muted by the people that you're talking to. If you are, then it goes back to the choice. Choose your people better. And then the second thing, comprehension. Comprehension is actually sometimes even more important than communication, because if the other person receiving it cannot comprehend what you're saying, how you're saying, the gravity of what you're saying, a lot of times that's gonna go off deaf ears. You can communicate. You can have the most beautiful. I do this. I'm weird. I don't know if anybody else does. I'm weird like that. I practice my speeches.
Yes.
I do this. I do because I need to understand what I'm saying, how I'm saying it, especially if it's important to me. Because again, I'm a very different kind of person.
I'm the same way. I take bullet points of everything.
I'm
Make
like,
sure
okay,
I don't miss.
I have to hit this. If they say this, I'm gonna respond this way.
Yeah.
I'm very, because I value my friendships. I value my relationships that important,
Yes.
because I want to make sure that I'm saying it the right way and I'm doing my part.
Yes.
So if you cannot comprehend, then we're at an impasse almost, because now no matter what I do, you're not gonna get what I'm saying. So communication and comprehension are 2 very important things as you grow in your relationships and how to build them and maintain them.
Oh, what's going on, y'all? One of the main takeaways I want y'all to take away from this is that it comes with growth comes a lot of good times and a lot of bad times. And when you're growing, it's okay to grow apart. It's okay to grow separately, but it's always crucial to keep that respect and that transparency with all of those that you truly love and truly care for. This has been the Real Example Podcast with Marcus, Raymond, TJ, and the lovely Miss Jade. And we got that Sinny, Sin, Sin.